Hi everybody, welcome. Thank you for taking your time to come in. Today we are going to be discussing, sticking to it, unlocking the secret to resolution success. So I, Rebecca Raney, am a nutritionist. I say nutritionist because I do have my degree in dietetics. However, I did not go the extra steps forward back in the day when I was young and do the whole RD. So I just continued education, keep up on my nutrition certifications, and make sure that I am well to practice and help you out. So today we're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions because the new year always brings new you. Problem with that is New Year's tends to end around what, February, March? I mean, who here truly has started a New Year's resolution right now? Okay, exactly. So now, how many of you are probably going to end it come March or April, and then by June or July, you're gonna feel like you totally lost all of your results, and then why even bother starting over? It's almost the end of the year, holidays are coming up, yada yada. It happens. Everybody has that happen to them. Well, today I'm going to be sharing with everybody how to stick to it, so by the time the holidays come up, you're going to be able to stick through your New Year's resolution and kick it and maintain it through the holidays. So today we're going to be covering multiple points. Few is going to be the psychology behind New Year's resolutions, common obstacles to nutrition success, practical strategies to build lasting habits, staying motivated and committed, setting achievable and sustainable nutrition goals. So the power behind the psychology. Statistically speaking, about 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February. Now, that sounds pretty common right now, right? I told you guys, it's not just you, it's everybody out there. Somehow, in some way, we all fall off the train. Why does this happen? Unrealistic goals, lack of preparation, and a lot of times a loss of motivation. Not having somebody hold you accountable, sometimes family disasters, bad drama that happens, whether you lose somebody, maybe a divorce, maybe you're fighting with a friend or a family member, something happens and you're just lost your motivation and you'd rather have that piece of pie than the apple. Solution. Understand why most resolutions fail and how to break the cycle, which we will be going over step by step. So more about the psychology of the change, understanding behavioral change. There are multiple stages that you can absolutely take. This is something that I try to take step by step with my own clientele. The first step is pre-contemplation. That's normally when you start asking me questions like, what do you do? Why do you do it? How do you do it? You're just kind of putting your finger in the water and testing and seeing what level and temperature the water is at. Then comes contemplation. Contemplation is now you got your feet in the water and you're really seeing the temperature. Okay, how much is it gonna cost? What will I actually have to do? How is this gonna affect my lifestyle? What will I have to buy? Who will I have to talk to? You're going through all of the things in your head to really assess to see if this is gonna be worth your while and something you actually wanna commit to. Then comes the preparation. You're actually starting to commit to it. That means you've had a consultation with me. You now understand everything behind what I have to offer, and you're going to be putting in the work. So now you're grocery shopping, now you are meal planning, now you are making a conscious effort of drinking your water, and when you go through McDonald's, you're ordering a salad versus a Big Mac. You're making more of a conscious step. Then comes action. Action is when you're actually checking in with a coach or a dietitian or a medical professional. You're actually making the steps forward. So when you do fail, you're able to have accountability and take steps forward and making sure you're getting back up again. Then comes maintenance. Maintenance is a huge factor because you've put in all of the work. You did the contemplation, you did the checklist, you did everything from failure to success, what worked and what didn't, and now you're maintaining exactly what you built and what you learned. That is like the final cherry on top of the sundae, you can officially say. The key concept is going to be changing behavior around food. It requires time, patience, and commitment. that we will go over as well. Common obstacles to nutrition. Barriers to health eating. Lack of time or meal prep skills. This is a huge one. And in their fridge and everything's good to go to throw into their lunch pack. Some people, like I personally know, who was my sister, her schedule didn't work that way. She worked overnights in the ER. She had to buy stuff every 3 to 4 days and prep every 3 to 4 days. I know somebody else. She is a manager for a dispatch company of truckers. She meal preps on the daily. So every night she preps for the next day, and she does that every single night. It really has to be customizable to what fits your lifestyle, not what fits the everyday humane, what people say, oh, this is successful. Because what might be successful to one person isn't gonna be successful to all people. Excuse me, my phone locked, my bad guys. Emotional eating or stress. Everybody has this come up. Everybody has this happen to them. You can't avoid life situations. You can't just walk through and say 365 days of the year, you're gonna have the perfect days and everything's gonna go just right, because myself included, that never happens. I was supposed to have the best morning. I have a 1-year-old at home. I was supposed to be playing with her this morning. I was supposed to use her nap time to get ready and look good for you guys. But that didn't happen. I got a call last night. I ended up in Maricopa at my dad's house. That means I ended up prepping for everything out in Maricopa and then driving here to speak with you guys. Life is gonna give you a very amount of roller coaster ups and downs. You've gotta be prepared for it. And losing someone like I have sometimes will set you back. The biggest thing about being set back, don't stay there. Don't stay in the setback. Find ways and obstacles of stepping forward. We'll discuss it in a few minutes, but accountability is gonna be the biggest part behind it. And also too, make sure you have realistic expectations. Sometimes we can be our own worst critics. We want to be perfect, or we want to succeed in a way or a manner that we see as picture perfect, but it might not be picture perfect for our own lifestyles. So making sure you have realistic expectations for yourself is gonna keep your own New Year's resolutions, whether it be you wanting to go to the gym 5 days a week, whether it be you want to stop eating out every 3 days, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish this New Year's, make sure they are realistic expectations. So solutions to truly help you get through those is focus on small, manageable steps. I have a lot of clients that if they fall off the train or the wagon or whatever you want to call it, I always tell them during check-ins, find one goal, not 5, not 3, 1. One goal. If the easiest goal that week is to just get all of your water in and meet your water goal, that's your only focus you should be focusing on to get back to what you want for your main high top New Year's resolution goal. You need to take tiny baby steps, because then the next week, after you've managed to keep your water intake down for 1 week, then add another goal to your next week. Whether it be, I'm going to cut out sugar in the morning. Don't cut out sugar all day. You're gonna hate your life and you're gonna get some really bad headaches. So don't do that. Just baby steps, guys. Don't go 0 to 100. Go 0 to 10, then 10 to 20, and just slowly get yourself back up to 100. Also, like I just said, replace the all or nothing mindset. Don't go 0 to 100. It's just, you'll fail. It's like a car. You'll burn out, you'll crash, you'll spin out of control. Just don't do it. Setting realistic goals. If you guys have not heard how to set a goal, or if somebody has not truly walked you through what it means to have a SMART goal, I'm about to walk you through what that means, how to do it, and give you a few nutritional examples of what a SMART goal would technically look like. So think of the word SMART, S-M-A-R-T, S, specific. What exactly do you want to achieve? And I don't mean like, I want to look good. No, like get specific. What do you want to accomplish? For myself, a few years back, it was 2022. I had a specific goal to achieve a pro card in the bodybuilding bikini division. So I needed to know specifically how I needed to look in order to maintain that image for the judges. So I knew I needed to have a ratio of nice shoulders to a tiny waist to a nice round bottom half, almost like an hourglass formation if you've never seen a bikini bodybuilder. My next one, measurable, M. How will you measure success? Okay, so I measured success through measuring. I knew my shoulders had to be a certain measurement to ratio with my waist. So my hips and my shoulders got measured every week. It's a little excessive, guys. Don't think you, if you're in a maintaining lifestyle transformation, need to do that weekly. Monthly is something I have my clients achieve and try to strive for, not weekly. I also did measurements via pictures. A lot of people are very uncomfortable with pictures. It's not like a have to do, but if you personally want to take pictures and you want to keep those on your own record, so that way you can see every month your body changing or transforming, I highly want to encourage that. If you have a coach such as myself, I have a few clients who send me pictures weekly, and through my scope and my practice, I take their pictures, do a side by side, and then circle areas of inches that they're losing through that. Now, if they have a week that they don't have inches lost, I will tell them, okay, what else can we measure? And so then you can measure what you're doing through food, hydration, exercise, even self-care. Making sure you keep the stress out of your life is going to be huge. A, achievable. Is it realistic for your lifestyle? If you are somebody who is a flight attendant, or if you are somebody who, like my husband, he's a blue-collar worker, you have to make sure that it is realistic for what you're doing. There is no way I'm getting my husband to eat breakfast at 2 in the morning. And if any of you guys out there know how to get that to happen, please come see me after this because I would love that. He will eat at 5 in the morning, 3 hours into his work shift. That's just how it happens. But that's his lifestyle. But by the time he gets home, he for sure wants lunch, and he wants dinner, and he wants his smoothie, and he wants everything else. It's just morning, he's not gonna kickstart his metabolism first thing. So the whole entire fad of, oh, you gotta eat first thing in the morning, might not be realistic to your lifestyle. So make sure to find what fits your lifestyle. If you need help, or if you don't know, or if that's something guidance-wise that you're looking to achieve, please come see me. We can do a free consultation. I can go over how I help you or anybody else achieve that expectation for your life. R, relevancy. Does it align with the bigger life goal? And that's actually something in a deep meaning, right? Like you're thinking, my life goal, what's my life goal? Okay, it doesn't gotta be that deep, but think about your year in advance. Like, what are you looking to achieve for this year? And is it relevant to what you're wanting to succeed? So in 2022, when I wanted a pro card, my relevancy behind it was more along the lines of closing out a chapter before I started a family. And there was my relevancy. I knew exactly how I needed to get there and what I needed to do to get there. I just needed to have my why. If you don't have your why in front of you, you're gonna crash and burn. Because once you have an emotional distress, a bad day, a setback, whatever it may be, if you do not have your why, getting back up on top of your horse is gonna seem really, really hard. T, time bound, so time specific. When will you reassess or achieve this goal? And if you have to do mini SMART goals for the bigger SMART goal of your New Year's resolution, I highly encourage that because that way you can take tinier steps. So for instance, like your water goal, if you wanted to, at least get 64 ounces of water in a day, maybe after 2 weeks, reassess it. So you can make tiny SMART goals to assess your big New Year's resolution goal. Few examples of SMART nutritional goals can be, I will eat 5 servings of vegetables per day for the next 30 days. So it's very specific, it's measurable, it has a relevancy to what they're doing if it's a nutrition goal, as well as you're having a time bound where you can reassess if you're meeting it, if you're not meeting it. Another one, I will limit processed foods to 3 days per week for the next 3 weeks. As you can see, the time limit, the specific, exactly how they're gonna measure it, the whole 9 yards. So building healthy habits. This is more where I was going with accountability and consistency. So you want to start small and build that consistency over and over again. The power of 1% improves each day. Focus on one habit at a time, like I've been speaking, such as like the water goal, which I'm going to continue utilizing that, and then increase. So if you want to start with 64 ounces of water right now, and then in 3 weeks you want to increase it, then increase it. And you don't have to increase it by like 64 ounces and then all of a sudden you're at a gallon. No, you can increase it by like 8 ounces, 16 ounces, whatever is comfortable and easy for your lifestyle. Habit formation. If you haven't heard, and it's something that truly everybody technically says, it takes 21 days to form a new habit. Truth behind it, it can be 21 to 66 days to form a new habit. So don't beat yourself up in 21 days if it's not sticking like glue and you're so disappointed and you feel like you're spinning your wheels. Let it go. Keep showing up daily for yourself and putting in the work, because every time you show up for you, the next day you're going to continue doing it, like wash, rinse, repeat. The habit formation also has a stacked habit tracker, so you want to keep adding new habits as you go along. So after you get your water habit down and you're good with your water, now switch to something that is a little bit more challenging. You got your water down, it's now your lifestyle. Maybe it's, I really don't like eating vegetables. And honestly, guys, I can't even blame you. I don't like eating vegetables either. I have a greens powder I take every morning. But sometimes that greens powder is pretty rank and I don't want to take it every morning. My taste buds just say no. That is where consistency and showing up for my own goals is necessary to saying, okay, I promised myself X amount of days, I'm gonna take this powder, I do it. So if you struggle with eating your vegetables and you wanna try and make sure you have carrots, maybe 3 days out of the week, and then you switch it to tomatoes, and you have them 2 days out of the week. Keep showing up tiny little habits each time and it will happen. Practical nutrition strategies for success. Meal planning. We talked about how that can be a huge downfall for some people because they have different lifestyles or they have an expectation of what society has put on them for meal planning. Essentially, meal planning is a success part. What do they say? If you fail to plan, plan to fail. Well, that kind of is very much true in nutrition as well. You want to make sure you build it around your own time. I'm going to use my sister again as an example because she was an ER nurse, overnight shifts. It was really hard for her at first to find the balance of healthy lifestyle. And then her and I moved in together. Mind you guys, this was years back in the day, and I helped her assess her nutritional goals, and we got her on a regimen after 3 tries. This was not successful on the first try. We had to find what worked for her and what didn't work for her. So the biggest thing we did was we found that every 3 days or every 4 days, depending on her work week, depending on her time shifts, and depending on exactly when her days off were, she would meal prep. That means she took 1 whole day. She took an hour grocery shopping, 30 to 45 minutes prepping her vegetables, her meats, and her whole grains. And then she took another 45 minutes to an hour in prepping it all out with Tupperware and cooking and washing the dishes, and she was set for the next 3 to 4 days. Now you think to yourself, okay, well that was her day off. When is she relaxing? Well, she had 2 days off in a row, so she relaxed the next day. She went to bed after she cooked, she slept all day, woke up and had a normal life the next day. Mindful eating. Mindful eating is something I have to constantly practice. My father was a truck driver, so a lot of times when I was a little girl, it was instilled to me, hurry, 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 rush, 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 eat, not on to the next place, we gotta go. So I struggle with taking my time and being present in my meal and slowing down. Sometimes my husband has to remind me, put your fork down, we're not going anywhere. And that helps me slow down in my eating habits. And that's something I constantly work on because none of us are like 100% perfect. We're all a work in progress. But slowing down and being present during meals helps prevent overeating. And that's 100% true. When he checks me and put me into my place about my eating habits, I find that as I'm eating, I'm slowing down and not becoming full, but I feel better and not like I'm just bloated and like a blueberry wanting to roll out of the restaurant wherever we go to eat. It's also about listening to hunger cues. That's a huge thing. Sometimes we think we're hungry when we're not. A lot of times clients say, I have the worst sweet tooth, what do I do? This is my go-to for any client in telling them, take some water. Drink 8 ounces of cold water, wait 5 minutes, and assess it. Do you still have a sweet tooth? Yes or no? If so, grab some type of fruit. Strawberries, blueberries, apple, banana, orange, I don't care. People say, banana's like the Snickers, it's the worst. I don't care if you got a sweet tooth, I'm wanting you to eat a banana over a Snickers, so grab the banana. And if you eat the banana and you feel good, drink some more water, assess. If you still, at that time, are having a sweet tooth, let's go ahead and look further into what is going on. Do we have a hormonal situation going on? Do we have a tired situation going on? Hormones are ranging from anywhere from top to bottom. And that could be for a whole different seminar because, whoo guys, don't get me started on a tangent of hormones. But a lot of times they do have to be assessed. Healthy substitutions. You want to be swapping out like I just talked about. Don't eat the Snickers bar, grab the banana. I don't care if somebody told you that Snickers or the bananas are just like Snickers bar. You have more potassium and micronutrients inside of that banana than you do a Snickers bar. So I would much rather you have calories in a banana, which is probably going to benefit you with micronutrients, than a Snickers bar, which is going to spike your energy, and then you're going to crash horribly, then you're going to feel worse. That's not something you want to do. The importance of self-compassion. This is huge. Oh my gosh, all of us have to be our own worst critics. And if you sit there and you tell me, oh no, I love myself. Of course we do. We show our self-compassion, but when you get into a moment of weakness, you are your worst critic. Have you ever been in a situation where you say, oh, that was dumb of me? Okay, well there you go. You were just your own worst critic. You should never call yourself dumb. So that goes in the same type of perspective with nutrition. You want to speak kindly to yourself. There's a rule in my house. We don't say the F word. And I know you guys are all probably like, oh my gosh, she did not just say that. And not that F word, guys. Come on, we're keeping it G-rated here. I'm talking about FAT. That does not go in our house. We do not speak that word. It's like, we don't talk about Bruno. And when that comes in my house, I literally say, it's like a cuss word. And we add it to the jar, quarter in the jar. We don't talk about that because once you instill that word out there and you're speaking it, it's almost like you're becoming it or you're wanting to become it. And a lot of times people aren't the F word. They're not it at all, but they have some type of visual complex on something that happened to them, maybe psychologically, maybe something back in the day, maybe somebody was telling you that over and over again, and then it's instilled in your head for values. That's where self-care is really, really important. A lot of times on my clients' meal plans, I actually do write at the very end a self-care agenda. It's super important to take care of yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally, or you're just gonna spiral back and forth all over again. Oop, did it again, guys. We're gonna still be on a roll, I promise. Also, you wanna have a great support system. I'm gonna take this back to an example of my bodybuilding days. And the reason why is because if you ever had somebody in a physical sport, whether it may not be bodybuilding, but maybe softball, soccer, football, maybe your kids, maybe somebody you love, something of that nature, you know the physical and mental wear down that can happen. And this was huge for me and my family just because there were times getting closer to stage that I was such in a place that I needed the physical support of a loved one. I needed a hug. I needed an attaboy. I needed you're only a week away from the prize. Keep going, keep going. Because when you get that close to your goals, you tend to just want to give up. You're physically and mentally defeated. But if you're more into the fact of you're just doing this for a healthy lifestyle, I want people to still have a support system because it can be really hard when you go out to eat and all you truly ever want is the nachos and queso, or you want the churro at the end of the meal. But if your family is there and they know your goals and they know what you're trying to achieve, they can hold you accountable. And they can say, hey, do you think your coach would be okay with you having this? Or, hey, are you sure that's something you really want to do? It might set you back on what you're looking to accomplish. Having a support system is huge, no matter what shape or form it may look. Also, tracking your progress. There are 1,000 things out there in life. Go on Amazon. You can literally put nutrition tracker, you can put fitness tracker, go on your app store in your iOS or your Android, whatever you have, I don't care, go into your app store, put it in as well. There are a million things out there, whether it be by paper or whether it be by phone, that you are gonna be capable of tracking what you're wanting to do. Why is this important? With my clientele, I always tell my clients, first off the bat, in a consultation, this is what I expect of you, and it truly is to journal what you're doing. Why do I have them journal? Accountability. It's self-accountability. I'm holding you accountable by keeping you accountable to you. If you're writing down everything that you're doing, and it's a whole non-judgment way, if you have 3 Snickers, I really don't care. That's not my body, it's your body. I'll support you if you need it. But if you are wanting to write it all down, the likely chance of you having 3 Snickers is slim to none. The likely chance of you having 1 Snickers is more likely. But that way you find that balance of like, oh, I got my little sweet treat, now let's move on into something healthy. And by tracking your progress, you're gonna be able to see more results. This also go back to the SMART goal, measurable. When you're able to measure your progress, you're able to measure what you're succeeding in, that helps a lot. And celebrating, you gotta celebrate the small victories. If we keep this on a nutritional standpoint, I tell my clients, do not take a victory and celebrate with a food victory. You don't wanna say, oh, I don't wanna have that piece of pie for 3 months, and then you make it 2 weeks and you celebrate with a piece of pie. Find something else that makes you excited, whether it be take yourself on a shopping spree, go get a massage, maybe you want to go on a date night. Go on a date night, but it doesn't mean you have to sit there and order a whole bunch of junk to put back into your body. Go to a restaurant, go to a facility, whatever you want to call it, that's going to feed your body healthy, nourishing foods. Overcoming plateaus and setbacks. This can be very difficult for clients. Everybody hits it. I don't want you to feel like you're being pinpointed, you're being victimized, because that's something that actually does happen. I have a beautiful client. I love and adore her. She's become my family through just being my client, and she's hit a lot of plateaus. And she always says, why me? I say, honey, it's not why you. It happens to everybody. And it's the body making shifts when they know they need a shift. And that's why I tell people, get a professional. I don't care if you use me, I don't care who you use, but get a professional. Because when you hit that plateau and you hit that setback, you're gonna have a professional that's sitting there and they're gonna be telling you what's happening, how to change things up. The more detail you're giving your professional, that's gonna help them assess what you need to do better and be better. So if you have a third party, let's say you don't have a professional, let's say you use a family member. Let's say you tell your wife, hey honey, I'm gonna track down what I'm eating. You hit a plateau, and then you go to her and you say, honey, I hit a plateau, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, then she can look at what you're tracking and she can be like, well, silly, you've had 3 beers in the last 2 nights. Maybe you should cut back on your beer. So if you have somebody that's keeping you accountable, if you're tracking what you're doing, that is an easy way of assessing your goals and overcoming those small setbacks or plateaus that tend to happen. Now, the staying motivated long-term. Like we pretty much said from the beginning, we start in January, we sizzle out in February and March. It's just because long-term, right? So how do we take our long-term and don't make it short-term? Well, you want to think of your commitment. What are your why, your relevance? Why are you doing this? You want to have a mental focus. What am I focusing on? If you are focusing on, oh man, the gym is crowded, I don't have the right shoes, Betty next door to me, she lost 5 pounds, I haven't lost if you're focusing on the wrong things, you're gonna die out and you're not gonna have the right outcome. You wanna focus on the long term, your relevance. You wanna find joy in what you're doing. If that means, like when you were a kid, I'm gonna take us all back to our childhood, right? And we would wake up Saturday morning and mom or dad, they would have our pancakes in the shape of a Mickey Mouse face, and that was fun. Why can't we do that as adults? I mean, I'm just saying, I still do, so no shame in my game. But if you guys aren't doing it, find a way to do it. Maybe you wanna take your fruit and you make it look like some cute charcuterie board fruit thing. Do it! Whatever keeps you feeling like it is fun, do it. I have a girlfriend, she's so funny. She was really struggling with her water. Her and I were talking, I was all like, she's like 5'8", 5'9", she towers over me. And she's athletic too, and I was like, why are you not hydrated? Like, you're athletic, you're super tall, why do you, like, I loved her, but I was like, why do you have a problem with water? And she goes, I don't know, I guess I just don't really know if I'm tracking it. So what did we do? We got her that like cute water jug that says like 9 a.m. good morning beautiful, and it was like 10 a.m. chug a lug or something like that. She ended up taking her water from 64 ounces up to a gallon. She was able to start not having cramps in her softball games any longer. Her energy skyrocketed just from a water intake. That's how crazy small goals can truly impact you. But you have to find the joy and the fun in it. If she didn't have like a fancy cool little water bottle that like spoke to her on hours or a timer set to remind her to look at her water bottle, it wouldn't have been fun for her. She would have sizzled out. So the role of your support system. When you surround yourself with like-minded people, you tend to create more of an everlasting, sustained area. So my gym that I go to, and mind you guys, I am on the West Valley. I go to a mom and pop gym called Fitness One. It is mostly centered around powerlifters, bodybuilders, athletes, that type of material, but we do have our average Joes. And the funny thing is our average Joes tend to really get motivated because they're surrounded by athletes. And I've had quite a few women come up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you lift like that. Aren't you scared of getting bulky? And I just sit there and I take time out of my workout to educate and share, because that's what I do. Because if that's gonna help that lady or her daughter or any type of mindset, change it around into something completely different, that takes them to a whole different level by surrounding themselves with like-minded people with like-minded goals. Again, you also want to try and find somebody that has professional viewpoints on it. Get yourself a dietitian, get yourself a nutritionist, if anything, get yourself a medical provider, whoever has the knowledge base to keep you on track. Find them, get them, stay accountable. Integrating nutrition into your lifestyle. You want to make healthy eating a part of your identity. Instead of seeing nutrition as a challenge, view it as a natural part of your lifestyle. You want to adapt and evolve. So everything we pretty much have been talking about, you want to wrap it up into a cute little bundled package that goes under your tree. You want to make sure you're there for work, weekends. Weekends are huge. Have you ever started something and like Monday through Friday, because you're at work, you're nailing it? You got your water in, you got your lunch packed, dinner's made, everything's great. And then the weekend comes and you wake up at like 10 a.m. because you get to sleep in. And now you're like, oh, I'm totally off of my routine. What do I even eat for breakfast? How do I even do this? And then next thing you know, you're at the local bar watching the college football, having beer and wings, and you just totally set yourself back from all of your goals Monday through Friday. This is one of those things where professional support helps guide you in those troubled areas. Like I would tell my clients who have a perfect Monday through Friday, but Saturday and Sunday look spontaneous. That's why I have my clients track. We are able to provide areas to switcheroo and mix it up so you can have your cake and you can eat it too. Are there any questions as of right now that you guys would like to ask me, or find that throughout the presentation that kind of sparked you would like to discuss right now? Good, I'm that great, I love it. If by any chance you guys do see any questions, I'll be sticking around afterwards. Please come by, talk to me. Sometimes it can be a little more intimate of a question and you don't really want to share it with everybody that you don't know here, so it's okay, just come up, find me. Or even too, if you would like, you can find me on social media. My Instagram handler name is Becca, BECCA _ RAN 22. My Facebook page is under the business account Healthy Lifestyle, the number 4, Fun. You can also email me. I have no problem with that. My email is going to be RA _ RAN _ 22 @outlook.com. If you want to text or call me and set up a free consultation and ask your questions, you can reach me at 602-330-5061. I see you laughing. Yes, I do have to look at my number. It's a new number. So yes, you can laugh, it's new, but I have to keep business and personal separated now. But biggest things I want you guys to remember as we do takeaways is a few points. Success is in the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. Another thing I want you guys to remember, it's about progress, not perfection. Stick to your goals and you'll unlock success. And you can have your cake and you can eat it too. If there's anything you guys need, I'll be sticking around afterwards. You can be more than free to ask me questions, come up and talk to me, share with me your goals for the New Year's, whatever you want. Thank you, Sarah, for letting me be here today. I'm really happy you guys all came out to support. Thank you.